Is LEGO running out of ideas? It's a question I've been seeing more and more lately, and I kind of understand why people are asking this question, because if you walk into a LEGO store today, it can start to feel a little bit familiar. Another Millennium Falcon on the left, another Hogwarts castle on the right, another giant Marvel set over there, and another Batmobile in your hand. A lot of these sets are amazing in their own right, and the LEGO designers are insanely talented, but at the same time, it seems like LEGO keeps going back to the same things over and over again. And the strange thing is that LEGO is more successful now than it's ever been. They're making billions of dollars. Adult collectors are spending huge amounts of money on giant display sets, and their collections are bigger than ever. So financially, LEGO is doing incredible, but creatively is where the debate starts. Because if you grew up with LEGO in the late 90s or early 2000s, the company felt completely different back then. LEGO used to take weird risks consistently. You had themes like Rock Raiders, Alpha Team, Adventurers, Atlantis, Exoforce, Power Miners, all these strange original worlds that felt really unique to LEGO. Every year, there was some completely random new concept nobody expected. Some of them failed horribly, but that unpredictably made LEGO exciting. And then there was Bionicle. To be honest, Bionicle might be one of the most important things LEGO has ever made. Bionicle was amazing. It had lore and characters and books, games, comics, entire story arcs. I mean, kids became obsessed with it. Bionicle proved LEGO could create its own universe from scratch and make people care deeply about it. And back then, LEGO felt like a company driven by imagination first, but then something happened that changed the entire direction of the company forever. LEGO Star Wars. You see, when LEGO partnered with Lucasfilm in 1999, it completely exploded. The set sold insanely well, and LEGO realized that people absolutely love buying things they already recognize. That one partnership basically changed LEGO's future, because after Star Wars came Harry Potter, then Batman, then Marvel, then Disney, then Nintendo, Minecraft, Jurassic World, Sonic, Avatar, Fortnite. You get the idea. Eventually, licensed themes became the core of LEGO's business. And from a business perspective, why would you spend years developing an original sci-fi theme that might fail when you can just release Darth Vader again and guarantee millions of sales? Why take risks inventing new characters when Spider-Man already has one of the biggest fan bases on Earth? The problem is that over time, this has started making LEGO feel repetitive to a lot of fans, especially the older ones. Because now LEGO doesn't just revisit old ideas occasionally, they consistently remake them. There are dozens of X-Wings now, multiple Millennium Falcons, endless Hogwarts castles, more Batmobiles than I can even count anymore. And to be fair, the newer versions are more often objectively better. The LEGO building techniques have improved massively over the years. The modern sets are more detailed, more accurate, and definitely way more advanced than older versions, but eventually you start wondering how many times the same idea can be recycled before it stops feeling exciting. A lot of modern LEGO waves feel extremely predictable now. Every year there's another expensive Star Wars collector set, another Marvel display piece, another giant black box 18+ set clearly designed for adults instead of kids. And that right there might be the biggest shift of all. LEGO discovered adults. Adult LEGO fans spend absurd amount of money, way more than kids do. A parent might buy a child one or two sets occasionally, but adult collectors will spend thousands building giant LEGO displays. LEGO figured this out, and the company changed around it. That's why modern LEGO branding feels more premium now. It's got sleeker packaging, massive collector-orientated sets, huge display models that barely even look like they're designed for play. And once LEGO became a luxury, collectible brand, creativity naturally became less risky and less experimental. Because when a set costs hundreds of dollars, LEGO wants guaranteed success. A giant Star Wars ship is safe. An original theme with unknown characters is not. Now, to be fair, LEGO still does create original ideas. I mean, Ninjago became one of the company's biggest successes ever. Monkey Kid is pretty creative and visually impressive. Dreams is honestly one of the weirdest and most imaginative themes LEGO has released in years. So it's not like creativity has disappeared completely. The issue, I believe, is that original themes now struggle to compete against giant franchises. Star Wars is always going to dominate attention. Marvel is always going to sell, so even when LEGO tries something creative, it often gets overshadowed immediately by bigger licensed sets sitting next to it on the shelf. Now, this is the part where I blame you. Fans might also be part of the problem, because people constantly ask LEGO to bring back classic themes. Fans beg for classic castle, or pirates, or old space themes, old trains, just old everything. But when LEGO actually revisits old ideas, people complain that the company lacks originality. It's kind of impossible to satisfy both sides at the same time. Nostalgia is incredibly powerful. People say they want innovation, but something that's more familiar is usually what sells best. Social media makes this even stronger. A Millennium Falcon instantly gets attention online because everybody already knows what it is. But a random original LEGO theme has to fight much harder to get noticed. So maybe LEGO isn't running out of ideas at all. Maybe this is just what happens when a company becomes massive. Bigger companies naturally become safer. Investors expect consistency. Risks become more dangerous. Experimentation becomes harder. LEGO today is one of the biggest toy companies on Earth. And huge companies tend to optimize what already works instead of constantly chasing weird creative experiments. But I still don't think creativity at LEGO is dead. I think it's just changed. Because the real magic of LEGO, if you will, was never only the official sets anyway. It was what people built after opening the box. Some of the most creative LEGO creations I've ever seen weren't official products. They were fan creations of massive cities or custom spaceships and giant castles, entire original worlds people built themselves. LEGO has also recently tried adding more technology into their sets, because that's gone down well in the past. Instead of just building and playing physically, newer products include apps, sound effects, or digital interactions. LEGO claims that this makes play more modern and interactive. But one reason people love LEGO is because it lets you imagine anything. A simple X-Wing could become part of your own story, but smart play sets often tell you exactly what to do through a brick. And I'm not exaggerating either. Well, maybe a little bit. Instead of creating your own adventure, you follow the system's instructions. Place a brick on these specific tile pieces, and it'll make a noise that kind of resembles something from the movies.
Bring play to life with amazing interactive features. So now, the Galaxy plays back.
A lot of the pushback comes from the expectations. Traditional LEGO sets are more open-minded. Kids build anything they imagine. Some smart or tech-enhanced LEGO system, like sensor-based or app-guided bricks, for example, can feel more restrictive because they steer play towards specific outcomes instead of free building. People who value creativity over guided learning sometimes dislike that shift. Adding technology also costs money. Instead of spending the budget on detailed builds or extra minifigures, some of the price goes into sensors or speakers. And some people feel the added features don't justify the price compared to classic sets. Actually, I think all fans believe it's not justified. We are definitely paying more while getting less actual LEGO. RIP. I mean, many older Star Wars sets are still popular today because they focused on good design and fun play features. They didn't need apps or electronics to be enjoyable, and some are loved just because they're a bloody beast. To be fair, smart play sets aren't completely bad. It's not for me personally, but some people enjoy the technology and the interactive features. LEGO is also trying to stay modern and compete with video games and other digital entertainment. I mean, look, at the end of the day, LEGO is still just a pile of bricks. The creativity is still there, the potential is still there, but modern LEGO as a company is clearly leaning harder into the nostalgia side of things, along with acquiring different licenses like Infinity Stones, which has guaranteed them more success than ever before. So no, I don't think LEGO is running out of ideas. I think they've just realised that familiar ideas are far more profitable. But what do you guys think? Has LEGO gone off the rails, or am I just running out of ideas for videos? Let me know down in the comments your opinions, and I'll be replying to them all. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay awesome, bros.